Round 4 of the Australian Men's Interstate Teams matches. Queensland playing Western Australia. Both teams already with one loss this week. Can't afford any more, or there'll be almost no chance of making the finals. The number 3 match was the first one finished. Charlie Pilon lost the first hole, then won 8 of the next 11 to demolish Ben Ferguson, who's been in some pretty good form this week. We teed off the 14th. This was Pilon's tee shot to the 4th hole, which was just the 9th of the match.
Who was that? Charlie.
Some of the Golf Australia folk looking on, and it was another birdie here for Pilon. He would go on and win 7 and 6. Stephen Cox was rested in the morning. This was his first match on day 2, playing in the number 7 game. This was a lovely approach shot with a sand wedge to the par 5 16th, the 3rd hole of the match. He was playing Cameron Jones, who made a nice par save there himself. Stephen built a lead after 9, a 3-up lead. He kept that here till the 11th. He was dormy 3 up. A fine approach shot, a very long par 3, 191 metres. Finished the match with a birdie, a 4 and 2 win, and the second victory for Queensland. Here's a match that shows you just how fickle match play can be. Nick Kerr holes a bunker shot on the 4th. He was 3 down at the time against Queensland's Charlie Dann. But here it is on the same hole. Dann for birdie to halve the hole, and he does it. Both players holing from off the green. Dann 3 up there at the turn. Kerr won a couple of holes. Dann only 1 up here, playing the second last hole of the match, the 12th. This was a fine approach shot to the par 5. Charlie match already finished, caddying for Charlie, and holds that putt for a win. A birdie, and finishes with a 2 and 1 victory. That's 3 wins now for Queensland. The number 5 game, Fred Lee from Western Australia. This was the 3rd hole of the match. Beautiful approach shot to the par 5, almost going in there. That gave him an early lead, but Shae Wools-Cobb for Queensland. Nice par save there on the 4th hole, the par 3, gave him a 1-up lead after 9. He maintained that lead all the way through to the second last hole of the match. Found trouble off the tee, but this was his 4th shot to the par 5, allowed him to save par, keep a 1-up lead playing the last. Fred Lee had the honour on the 13th. This was the final hole, the par 3, almost hits the flagstick. About as good a shot as you could hit to such a firm green. Players coming up for last. So Fred would have a putt for birdie. Could Shae close the match out before him with a birdie of his own?
Go.
And he makes it. A 30-footer to close out the match for Shae Wools-Cobb. A 1-up win, and that's 4 now for Queensland. The number 2 game, Minwoo Lee, coming off a great start in America at Sage Valley. He was playing a Blake Proverbs. Proverbs had a 3-up lead after 8 holes, but found a little bit of trouble on the back 9, and Minwoo Lee would take that match 3 and 2. The only WA win. That's Kieran Day, and that's Mitch Smith. That putt gave Mitch a 1-up lead on Day going to the final hole. Could he maintain the lead? This was his tee shot to the 165 metre par 3. Just carries the bunker. Another terrific tee shot. 2 putts, all that was required, and Mitch would take that match 1 up. And that's a 5th win now for Queensland. One final match left, the number 1 encounter. Anthony Quayle coming off a morning win over Brett Coletta. That was a lovely bunker shot on the 16th hole, the par 5. Curtis Luck coming off a win at the WA Open, a PGA Tour event. Anthony took the lead at the halfway mark. Curtis found a bit of trouble there. This was the second last hole of the match, the 12th. Anthony 1 up at the time and played this beautiful long iron into the green on the par 5 in 2, and that would close it out. Curtis conceding 2-1 victory for Anthony Quayle. 6-1, the final margin. A great win. Queensland over Western Australia.